Hello, welcome to the Happy Yogini. My name is Jean. Well, it's December 12th of 2023. So hard to believe that this year has already sped by in the manner that it has. And typically, this is a really busy time of year. Lots of hustle and bustle, lots of interaction with people, out and about just doing your daily thing, as well as gatherings to celebrate the holiday season. And so it can be a little bit overwhelming, stressful, and anxiety-inducing. But really, when we think of this time of year from a cyclical, rhythmical perspective, this is actually a time of year that we need to turn inward. So with all of these external influences, I wanted to be able to give an opportunity for rest and restoration, an opportunity to really turn inward. So in today's video, I offer a short restorative practice. We'll take a couple of restorative postures for a few minutes, followed by a longer 20-minute shavasana. So in restorative yoga, the most important thing is to be able to have lots of props to set yourself up, to support you, to facilitate that physiologic relaxation response. So I understand a lot of people might not have all of the props that you need. You might need to get a little creative. I have 3 blocks, a bolster, blankets, pillows. You can use blankets and pillows from the bed, pillows from the couch, any block-like object. And there might be some adjustments that you need to make as well. For our first posture, I offer a supported child's pose. So if this is something where you can't get on your knees, and we're only going to hold this posture for about 5 minutes, but if you can't get on your knees, another great option would be to take a chair, sit up on a blanket, and fold forward like so, just to get that rounding of the back, tucking of the chin to help facilitate that relaxation response. So for this version of supported child's pose, I have 2 blocks holding up a bolster. I have one of these yoga blankets folded long in a long rectangle, and then the top of it sort of folded over. And then I have another block here to sit on. And then I'm also going to take a blanket. So it's really important in these restorative postures to cover up with a blanket in a lot of cases, especially for our longer shavasana, because the body temperature might drop. It's hard to get in a relaxed state if you're cold. So the other things that I have are an eye bag and an eye mask. Darkness is also going to help facilitate that relaxation response. So if you have something to put over your eyes, I'd recommend it. For this one, I do have one with a strap because it can be hard to put just a bag on the face with in this upright position. I'm going to take this blanket and have it ready. And I'm going to come up to the bolster and sit on this block. So it might take a little bit of adjusting. And then I will wrap this, I'll just put it here for right now so that you can see what I'm about to do, and then lean forward. It's good to have the hands either up through this bolster, or you can also put some pillows or something like this. You can keep your hands on the floor, but it might be a little bit less comfortable. And then I'm going to cover up my eyes, bring this blanket up over me, and set the timer for 5 minutes. You can rest on either cheek. If you haven't done so already, now's a good time to switch cheeks. Take a nice deep inhale and let it out. Turn to face the bolster and gently push yourself into the seated position. A little bit different way that we're going to come out of this posture. Go ahead and remove the blanket you might have behind you. Bring your hands to either side of the block or the bolster. Lean forward, tuck your toes, and push yourself up into a forward fold before making your way back down to the floor. Take a moment to check in. And then when you're ready, move these props out of the way. Okay, so for our next posture, a one blanket supported back bend. This might not sound like a lot, but it is. It can be, and it can be just enough. One of my favorite postures. So here I'm gonna have this heavier blanket just at the ready. Not gonna cover myself up in this posture. I'm gonna take one of these blankets. Fold it till I get it in this rectangular shape and fold it one more time. Bring it to the mat. Use my eye bag this time. And then the edge that is a little bit messier, that's the one that's going to be closest to your body, to your lower back. So you're not going to sit on the blanket. You're going to sit right in front of it. Bring the feet wider than hip width, maybe even as wide as the mat so that the knees can rest in on each other. And I'm going to take this heavier blanket and set it on my knees. Have my eye bag ready, and then start to lean backwards over it so that this firmer edge is about the lower edge of the shoulder blades. Get my eye bag ready. Arms are out towards the sides, about 45-degree angle from the body. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. If this particular blanket setup is too intense, you can also use a pillow. Take a nice deep inhale and let it out. You might shift a little bit in the direction of your head, step the feet a little closer together, remove that blanket if you've got one on your knees, and then roll over onto one side. Pause here. And then use your top arm to push yourself back up. Let the head be the last to rise. And then we'll set up for our final posture. So a couple of things. We're going to take a Stone Henge Shavasana. So I'll show you what that setup looks like. Lots of ways you can adjust this as well. But one of the things that's really important about any variation of Shavasana is to have the head and neck supported. So you'd like to have the chin tucked ever so slightly, just a little bit below the forehead in the way that your head support is set up, because that's going to help to facilitate that relaxation response. So take 2 blocks. I've got it set up on the medium height, and then I'm going to take my bolster and put it right on top. Then I will take my blanket that I just used for my back bend, and the side that, if yours has any of the ruffles, the fringes, we'll put that towards the bottom. And a little bit of a staggered edge here. Oh, I also meant to say, at the end of this Shavasana, I will sound the singing bowl and then just wait for my instruction on how to move out of this posture. As we do move out of the posture, it's very important to not just shoot straight up, because if you do that, it kind of gets rid of a lot of the benefits that we might have just cultivated. It really activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is what we don't want to do here. Okay, so again, have your blanket ready. Bring the legs up over the bolster so that the ankles are a little lower than the knees. Might need to adjust the blanket a little bit. It's going to come down to the tops of my shoulder blades. And then I'm going to kind of roll this top edge around a little bit and then use the blanket edges to fold underneath the head to provide that support I just mentioned. Don't do what I just did, which was shoot straight up, and cover myself up. And then, of course, another very important part here, the eye bag. Arms are out again at about a 45-degree angle. You might need to get another blanket here. And we'll set the timer. Cover up the eyes. Take a few nice deep breaths. Feel the belly soften. The abdominal organs drop. Shavasana. Inhale the breath and let it out. Drag one foot up onto the bolster, followed by the other. Another inhale and exhale. And pull the knees in and roll over onto one side. Pause there for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, use your top arm to push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Let the head be heavy, the last rise. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a safe and joyful holiday season and many blessings for the new year. Until next time.